But I don't know. It was my favorite time of the year for sure. I remember when I was still young, my dad would do the whole like eat some cookie, drink some of the milk, leave it there kind of thing. You know?
Yeah. When did you find out?
It's about the same time that I stopped believing in God. So I would say around 7.
Oh, wow. You stopped believing in God early.
Yeah, early, dude. For some reason in my head, the disjunction in the logic with Santa like carried over with God too. Because like I was like, wait a second. There's no way this guy's flying around the world. Like time doesn't make sense, right?
Well, I mean, the semantic, metaphysical properties of Santa are way different than God, though.
How are they different?
Because God is more like it's almost like this infinite kind of thing versus like Santa is a person almost.
Right, but they both break the laws of physics.
Which is okay because God is okay to break physics, not Santa, right?
Well,
he's physical. Yeah,
but when you okay. So my thought was if this special, obviously Santa's sold as a special human being though. Like he's like a demigod.
Yeah,
you got to at least admit, right?
He's a demigod. Yeah.
So if he's sold as that, and then you realize that like, no wait, I see how the world works. Like there's no way you can bend time like that. There's no way he's going to every kid's house, right?
Yeah.
In a night. That's just impossible. Unless he's privy to like the laws of physics or something, like and bend them. Right.
Or he's quantum.
Right? Yeah.
He can be everywhere all at once.
So in my head, I was like, well, if that doesn't exist, it was like a thought virus.
Right.
People have akin to religion to a thought virus, like the other way around. Like the reason why religion spreads is because it's a thought virus.
Yeah. And then you went into skepticism, right?
Yes.
And so that translated into, what if God doesn't exist?
Right.
Oh my God, God doesn't exist.
And then my mom didn't help. My mom couldn't answer any of my questions. So.
Oh, dude, yeah. You need to follow up on that shit.
Yeah.
If you're a parent, like, have that in mind. Like, you're going to have that talk. What are you going to say? Like, keep that
Well, think about this. So I asked my mom one day, I'll never forget this question. I asked her, like, what's at the end of, like, the Earth? And she said, well, space. And I said, okay, what's at the end of space? And she's like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that broke my mind.
Well, you mean that the parent doesn't know, or you mean that the parent is limited, and therefore...
It's like no one fucking knows, right? Like I thought my parents knew everything, and I'm not saying that I kept believing that, but I think I started questioning a lot about reality for some reason around the same time.
You mean the limitations of knowledge of your parents translated to the limitations of knowledge that you could potentially have, which means God and Santa Claus.
Yeah,
right.
All those things.
Right.
It kind of all fell apart for me. Very young.
Damn,
which is weird.
That's young, dude.
Yeah.
I probably was like double digits.
Yeah.
For me.
I tortured my mom for a long time about church, and then she finally relented. She's like, "No, you don't have to go anymore. Like, fuck it, you're a lost cause." It's just yeah.
Damn, you went early, man.
Yeah,
you're a chaos person way before me.
Yeah, I briefly started to believe a little bit when I started dating this girl because she was religious, but then it didn't take. Like I think she was trying.
Is
to,
it because the girl didn't take, or is it the religious?
Well, she was trying to get me to kind of like and she was poisoning my mind. Let's put it that way.
It is poison in a way, because poison in the sense that it spreads. It's like a mind virus.
Exactly, thought virus. Yeah.
So when I was in Japan doing the Buddhist temple, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh shit, I could just be here. I could believe in this shit because like it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm part of life or part of reality more, right? Doing this. I wonder if like that's a sense of like what it is to be in like a true believer. You feel part of a bigger thing, right?
Yeah.
And usually it's because it's social and whatnot, and there's like this whole communal part of it. But I think it's that kind of trick, right?
Yeah.
To sense that you're part of something much bigger. Because otherwise you're just this isolated individual in a nihilistic space, right?
Yeah.
Which is probably closer to the truth.
Yes.
But it's still, a lot of people can't handle that, I don't think.
I don't think we require religion to feel less lonely, though.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying religion taps into that.
Yeah. Religion, to me, the reason why it's so popular is because it offers somewhat of an explanation of what happens to you when you die.
Yeah.
And that's the scariest thing a person can go through. And if you can sell to someone that they don't actually die.
I don't believe that, though.
You don't think that's what it is?
Because I'm not thinking of death when I felt that, that communal part. It was just like, I feel just happier. Like, just because I'm part of this thing, part of this unit with other monks. We're doing the same thing. We make each other laugh. It's like this.
But there's no God in Buddhism, though.
No, but it's still the faith in Buddhism that I was warming up to, right? Because the religious feeling, the spiritual feeling was occurring in my mind.
Okay. I'd argue that's not belief in God, though. That's just something else. I feel like you're experiencing something. I mean, only you know what you're experiencing, but I feel like that's...
it's the spiritual feeling is getting closer to something that is much larger than myself.
I see.
Which is God, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, part of this, getting closer to some form of metaphysics.
I should clarify that what I mean by I don't believe in God is I don't believe in the Abrahamic God.
Right.
Right? So, like, I said this in a previous podcast. When someone says they're atheist, they rarely know what they mean by that. I'm atheistic when it comes to the gods that have been created by men that I've been exposed to.
Yeah.
I'm not atheistic to other possibilities because I don't know what they are. So I'm agnostic when it comes to
right.
those. Right?
Yeah. No, I think anything. It's like a certain. It comes from the same space, same desire. I think.
Yeah.
Right. That spiritual feeling. Right. And then you attach a thing to it. It's like having a certain theme of movies, but that you have a different face to it and whatnot. It's like a different Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a God multiverse, but they're all tapping into the same theme, which is like people desire to feel like there's something more than them.
Why?
Well, you said that the fear of death, and I think I have that same fear, but it's also the same as like I want to be part of what other people are experiencing. This communal, like.
What about knowledge? That isn't a driver. Like maybe explanations for things that are unknowable.
Yeah, well, that's part of the whole the desire for truth because of death, right?
Yeah, I think I've noticed something about myself. I think that the togetherness thing was never a driver for me. It's the knowledge one. Like the reason why I strayed away from Christianity was because there was no knowledge. There was no actual knowledge, right? It was like, well, people die because of eternal life, sin, devil, these like constructs that exist. Bad things happen because of sin. Those like inserts, those God of the gaps, if you will, never held for me. Like they were just very shitty gap closers for me. I think that's why I strayed away. It wasn't the togetherness thing. It is nice, like when you go to like a Catholic mass and everyone's singing, and I agree that's a very nice feeling. But I think that's not the reason why I didn't need that. I guess is what I'm saying.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I needed it when I was going through my thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I felt better being around it versus like the actual knowledge of what Buddhism actually is or what I'm chanting about.
Yeah.
Right. There's a certain sense of like it's like where you get there, where spirituality gets you, right? Yeah. Is it through knowledge, or is it through fear, or is it through social desire? Like these are all different human. It's experience of humanity, right?